Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, September 7th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick. Then we can get started with our session for today. Let's see if there's anything else here that I need to update. A few more things here. Looks good. A couple more things below. All right, solid. One more thing here, and we should be good to go today. Solid. I think everything's ready to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And should be all set. All right, looks good. All right, looks good to go. So let me get a few minutes for people to make their way in, and then we can get started with our session shortly. Hey, sir, good morning. All right, looks good. Morning, Steven. So let me go ahead and mark up the K2 SR zones over here. So guys, just another reminder, and especially to you, Steven, just remember that, the only strategy that we're applying right now, because we're still technically in the summer season, is the K2 SR rejection strategy, right? That's the whole reason I'm drawing these zones here. So just keep that in mind. I'm also going to be taking speculative trades of my own behind the scenes. I'm not going to be telling you guys when I'm taking these trades, but if you guys listen to my analysis, you'll know exactly when I'm going to be taking these trades. The main reason I don't necessarily want to tell you when I take these trades is because these trades happen very quickly and they're very speculative. There's no strategy behind them. It's just that I know where price is going. So I'm typically taking trades and then I am letting them run with a trailing stop. So just keep that in mind. There'll probably be more profits than usual that are posted today. Just like yesterday. Yesterday, there's no official trades, but I did make quite a bit of profit taking those speculative moves. So just listen to my analysis. If I tell you price is going one way and it's the direction of the bias, I'm probably going to ride that to the next structure, next price structure. But those will not be considered official trades, right? The only official trades are going to be the K2 SR rejection entries that we identify, spot, and take on time. So just keep that in mind. Just want to make sure I clear up any confusion. My analysis usually plays on point. So that's why I've been taking trades with a tight trailing stop loss to basically just scoop up as much profit as possible to add on to these SR rejections that we're taking. As you guys can see from the market, it's not technically moving directional just yet. It was moving very directional yesterday due to the holiday. But today it's starting to go back into a range. So this shows you that the market is not back into its directional conditions yet. But we will be getting there as summer ends. Summer is getting close to ending around September 22nd, I think is the official day. So as we get closer towards the end of September, market will start moving directional and we can start applying the other strategies again, like the variations, pivot scalps, the dailies, etc. So good morning, everybody. Let's see who's here. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Peter. Morning, Matt. Morning, Karen. Morning, Maddie. For my speculative moves, I'm putting my trailing stop at 100 pips. So I almost always guarantee break even. And I can also go for a longer move, especially if I'm going for a directional push and say the price structure is up here, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, anyways, I've marked up the zones here. Now I'm gonna look at news to see if there's anything to look for today. And anything to look for today, we'll see right over here. Today is Wednesday, September 7th. Let's see what we got over here. We have today's Fed day. So we have a lot of Fed news coming on today. So just something to keep in mind with regard to the volatility that might be active for the day so far. So just keep in mind, I think that's the only news that we have for today, right? We have Fed news or Fed speaking, and that's pretty much it at 7 o'clock. We had news at 5:30, which is trade balance, light impact news. We'll go over there and mark that up. Let's see, Fed new trade balance was neutral. So at 5:30, we had neutral news. Right over. Yeah, Fed news right there at 5:30, or not Fed news, neutral news. So you at 5:30 a.m. US news. And you can see that price pushed up from that point right there at 5:30. So price, it was neutral, but price did push up. We do have a lot of zones around here, so we got stuff to look for. And then Fed news coming up at 7 o'clock. All right. So let's see who else is here. iPhone's asking you can do trailing stop on MT4. I'm pretty sure you can do trailing stop on any platform, iPhone. Morning, David. Morning, Marco. Morning, Pat. Kenny said also, there's also, the iPhone event's going on, I think, later today in the afternoon. So we'll see where it goes. B said, hopefully normal spread today, tired of this 190. Yeah, I know, it's 160 right now. So hopefully it stays at 160 or it goes lower. Morning, Maria. Morning, Jamie. But yeah, iPhone 4, the trailing stop, you can do that on any platform from what I know. Trailing stop, I don't know how to do it on the actual platform. I use the FTMO Quick Trade Manager. So that's what I use. But there's tools for it. You can also do it within the actual trade order as well. So if you set up a trade order, I think there's an option where you can set a trailing stop. You can probably find that like on YouTube, just YouTube, like how to set up a trailing stop for MT4, but I'm pretty sure it's not that difficult. Anyways, guys, market's going to open shortly. Let's take a look at the bias for today. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it is currently 59% long, indicating that 59% of retail traders are currently buying right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and sell. Looking over here at the fundamentals, you're currently down 55 points. Not very much, but they do go in line with the retail sentiment. So we're definitely going to be looking for some sells today. Looking over here at the short-term bias, which is a trend on the 1 minute, the trend meter is currently green and the pivots here are angling up with the green pivot or the red. I think this is going to be temporary and price is going to swing below. So when that happens, we can start looking for sells. But right now, we're typically going to be looking, in both directions until we have that confirmation. Right. Yeah, Rick would know. All right, guys. So market is opening in about a minute. So we'll be waiting for that. I think I've marked up everything that we need for today. Overall bias is bearish. Short-term bias is currently bullish right now. Not a strong bullish bias, but this can easily shift to the bottom side and we can start looking for trades. So if price swings below, trend meter turns red, pivots turn red, and we get a wick rejection from any of the structures here, we could possibly take that for an SR scalp. I'll just call it an SR scalp, guys, instead of SR rejection, because it just takes too long for me to say that. We say SR scalp. It's easier for you guys to follow along. So, all right, guys, market is going to open in about 15 seconds. So let's see where price is going. All right, so a lot of the sessions are sitting, or there's sessions on both sides, but where price is currently at, looks like we got some space. All right, so price is starting to shift below, as you guys can see, in the direction of our bias, which is a good thing. Market is now open, guys. I'm going to open markup opening price right here. MACE has gone. All right, guys, market is now open. Price is pretty dead. Let's see, price starts to shift below. So we do have the wick rejection here. We do need the trend meter to be red though. So we need the trend meter to close red. We also need the pivots to start to move in that direction as well. But we don't have an entry right now. So this one might close red, but I think the candle might be a little too big. So if the candle closes below here, then it might close red. You just want to make sure that you actually wait for the close, right? So it did not close red. Price starting to shift below. It's basically just ranging right now between these two structures. So price is literally just going sideways right here as it tries to figure out its direction. So price is having a difficult time getting past opening price right there. It keeps bouncing back and forth. So we've got 20 seconds left. New zone over here. It's fine if price pushes above. It's not a big deal. You know, the bias will change. This is going to be the short-term bias, so not a huge deal here. So our target price area for this, if price does push above, is going to be the sessions right here. Turn this off because we don't have a bearish bias on the short term right now, but we'll see where price goes from here. This is going to be target price if price continues to push up. However, if price continues to push back down, target price is going to be opening price right here. So we'll see two different target prices here depending on where price goes. If price pushes up, this is target price. If price pushes down, this is target price. It's blue line. All right, so price just keeps bouncing around right here. There's no clear direction. If you go over here to a clean chart, let's mark up price right there. You can see that price is really just ranging between this high and this low. So it's not really doing too much at all. It's just in a range right there. This is the clean chart. Here's our official chart. So if price comes back down, target price is blue line, and there it goes. It came and touched down the blue line. Next target price is going to be a news price right here for the retest. But you just want to be careful about what you guys are looking to take, because obviously you can see price is still ranging around this area right here. It's just going back and forth. There's no clear direction just yet, but it did reach this target price right here as price continues to move along. If this closes with a sell momentum signal, then next target price is going to be news price right here. But I wouldn't just so look, you have to wait for it to close below here, right? You see how price is rejecting directly off the blue line? There's no confirmation yet. So this could just be a fake out. Price could come down, test this area, swing back up, and reach this target price right here. What you have to look for if you're looking for target price areas is just going to be these horizontal lines. Like I didn't draw these horizontal lines for no reason. They're there because they're price structure. Price right here came down, tested it, didn't close below. So it's not necessarily making us down to this point just yet. You can see that it faked out. Price came below, rejected off the pivots and the opening price, like directly off the opening price, did not swing back up. Where's the target price that it may reach to would be the sessions right here. Going over here to our clean chart, it's still ranging within the same area that I drew earlier. So it hasn't moved at all. It's still within the same range that it's been in for quite some time. So just be patient. You know, it's the game of patience here, guys. Just discipline, waiting for the market to really show you where it's going. Until it breaks out of this, you don't really know where it's going to go, right? It's just going to keep bouncing back and forth within this area. You can see here, price is pushing above. When price reaches this point, you can kind of determine where price is going. So this would technically be an entry for a SR scalp, but it's right next to the session, so you wouldn't take it. It's too close. I mean, it's enough to take, but I'm thinking about taking maybe a late entry possibly. I mean, I'll take a late entry and I'll write it up because there is some space there to reach the target price point. So let me see if I can maybe take a late entry here as it swings up. Let's see if I could follow this through right here. Where is it at? Isn't there's a zone right here, Maria. Big zone right there. So let's see. It's filled my order and hit my TP already. So full TP off that, guys. If you guys took it with me, made 1,210 off that. So there goes the SR rejection right there. Nice work, Maddie. Caught it as well. Marco caught it as well. Great work, guys. It hit our target. So this is where you use confluences, right? We already knew price was going to come up, hit this target. It lined up perfectly. And then it went straight to TP, blasted right through it. So this is why you guys can't get married to a position, right? This is what I always tell you. Like, don't get stuck on the long-term bias. Long-term bias is a sell, but we have a short-term bias right here as well. Full TP, great move. You guys caught it, awesome. That's our first official trade for the week so far. Nice. Maddie got it, Steven got it, Marco got it, everyone got it. Great. All right, guys. Awesome. So let's move on to the next one here. Don't need to celebrate on that too long. Just gonna keep moving on to the next trade. Steven over here as well, locked in 680. Great work, Steven. On your way to your goal. Maddie over here as well, locked in a total of 630 as well. Great work, Maddie. Full TP, green strips. So I'm looking for another trade here, guys. I still don't have one yet. Possible entry off this one over here. I'm gonna watch it though. This is actually very overextended, so I'm not going to take the trade if it closes. We need to wait for that retracement. Yeah, way too overextended. Jonathan got it as well. Great, guys. Steven said it entered a few seconds late, but reached his goal. Great, Steven. All right, I'll take a screenshot of my profits. Played out perfect. So I'm going to follow this, but I'm not going to take it. It's way too overextended. If you measure price from where it started down here, it's up about 1,300 pips. I guess there was some sort of retracement from this point, so you can still kind of take away from that right here. It's still up about 1,200 pips or so. So, all right, not bad. To finally officially kick off the trading week. So first official trade for this week so far. Yeah, the entry that we looked at, it looked like it was kind of big, like the candle was too big or it was too close to the sessions, but it was actually just enough for us to take the entry there. So it played out nice. All right, MFF's playing nice this week. MFF gave me 1,010 on that, thankfully. They've been kind of off. Let me check my other MFF accounts. All right, they're all the same, so not too bad. All right, so a possible entry off this one right here, wick rejection right there. Just got to make sure the candle's not too big. It looks like it may be too big here. Also got to make sure that the wick on top is not too big either. All right, so here are my profits for that trade right there. That buy we took earlier right here, locked in 1,210. You can see the green strip. I let it hit full TP. Here's my second account, copier for FTMO, locked in 1,260. Here's my MFF, locked in 1,010. Second MFF, 1,010 as well. Third MFF, 1,010 right here. So not bad, pretty solid. for the entries right there. So great profit. SAR. All right, so price is pretty much going into consolidation where it's currently at right now, which is fine. We'll let it consolidate a bit. If it comes back down, that's fine. We can look for sells. If it keeps going up, that's fine. We can look for some more buys. It's just a matter of patience, waiting for these trades to present themselves and taking them when the opportunity comes up. So a couple profits here. Mace took the trade as well, locking a total profit of 13,839. Great work, Mace. Save that right there. Dell over here as well took a profit of 394. Great work, Dell. And then obviously my profits right here. So if you guys have profits, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, we will continue on with this session and look for some more trades. All right, so let's see what we're looking at over here. So we got a possible entry right here, but this looks like it's too big of a candle. So we can't take this for a buy. Way too big of a candle. Andreas posted his profits as well, locking a total of 1,518 off that last trade. Great work, Andreas. And then Ross over here as well, locking a total profit of 4,668 for the day. Great work, Ross. And you guys are killing it today. All right, so no entry off this right here, guys. I'll follow it, but there's no entry because the candle here is just too big. Looks like it's gonna hit TP, but it's all good. We're gonna skip out on that one for right now. Let me scroll up real quick, see if I missed anything. Dejan said missed it playing musical chairs for a parking spot on campus. I forgot you guys are back in school, Dejan. Unfortunately, it's all good. Catch the next one. And full TP off this one right here. This is not going to count because the candle was too big. If you guys remember the red flags, we typically want to avoid those because price typically retraces. So unfortunately, this candle here was too big, so we missed it right there. It's one of the lower red flags, but it's still a red flag. So I'm not going to take that risk. But if you guys took it, great work, full TP. If not, it's okay. We're waiting for the next one. So question from Jeff over here. Jeff's asking, hey, Sean, I was wondering if the 38-minute counted as a valid candlestick. So let's go over here to the 38 candle. So on the specific 38 one right here, I believe you're talking about this one right here, right? 38, or you might be talking about the one next to it, 39. So on the 38, this would not be an entry because we don't have a wick rejection off structure, right? The wick is down here and the structure is down here. So no entry off this. If you're talking about the one next to it, this one would not be considered a moderate candle. So although there is a wick rejection on the bottom, it's not a moderate candle because the wick above is way too big, right? It oversizes the actual body. So for these two right here, no entry, unfortunately. I was looking at this one right here, the 39 one, but it did come down like at the last second. This one right here would be considered a moderate candle. However, it's just too big. So we were worried that it would retrace, if that makes sense, Jeff. So yeah, for 38, no entry there, but the one right after 39, this would have been one if it was a moderate candle. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, no problem, Jeff. But yeah, it's good that you ask questions like that because not everyone, I'm sure a lot of people had that same question. They just don't want to ask, right? So if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I mean, I might not be able to answer them during these live sessions. I might have to save it for later. But if I have like little gaps in time like this where I can answer them, I will. All right, so nothing right there. I'm going to go ahead and update this zone right here. It's a little bigger now. All right, so price is way up here, right? Let's take a look at the sentiment. Sentiment is at 58% long. Fundamentals are currently 109 points in the green. So with that said, this here and this here are conflicting, right? So long-term bias right now is somewhat neutral. However, if price does decide to come back down, target price is going to be right here. So just keep that in mind. I think price is probably going to have to retrace at some point. So if it does, target price point is going to be at the sessions below here. However, if price keeps pushing up, we don't really have a target price up there. I mean, we do, but it's kind of far up. So let me go and just rewind a little bit, or not rewind, but push a bit higher. Target price is like going to be like way up here. As you guys can see, the New York high is super high, right? It's at 31,560. So it's got a long way to go until it reaches the next price structure. Well, we'll see where it goes from here. We have news coming up at 7 o'clock. It's Fed news. It's not necessarily starting at 7, but Fed member Messer, I believe, is going to be speaking at that time. So we'll see where that takes us. Other than that, let's keep waiting for another entry here. Looks like volatility kind of died down a bit. I'll go over here and mark up. So this whole push right here was a liquidity push, right? And I want to show you guys where that came from. Let me just rewind it from here real quick before it actually pushed above. So the reason why you could have identified that liquidity push, and I'm sure some of you guys caught it, probably Mace caught it, because he made a pretty big profit. I'm just marking up the areas of liquidity right here. And I think that's about it, because everything else was already knocked out. So just looking at this area right here, this is where liquidity was sitting. I mean, there was a lot of liquidity here that got tested already at some point in the past, like this area right here. This was like a triple liquidity area. Another one right here. So there were a couple of key points of liquidity. Like this point right here was a key point. And this right here was the actual target, right? Because this is probably where it stopped pushing. So let's go ahead and just go forward off this right here. And you can see where price pushes up, hits this first area of liquidity, pushes up higher, hits this area of liquidity. Target price is right here. And that's where it gets stuck. That area of liquidity, right? So that's why it's important, if you guys want to trade these liquidity pushes, price literally reaches the same areas that I just drew right there. So just keep that in mind if you guys are still trading liquidity pushes. It's probably not the best time to take them right now, because obviously, you know, the type of market we're in. But once the market starts moving directional again, it might be useful to draw those areas of liquidity and use that as a confluence, you know, when taking certain trades. Like for today, I used the sessions over here as my confluence because I knew price was going to go in that direction, and it did. So, all right, price is above here, not much going on. Price is really just consolidating around this area. So we'll see where this takes it. This price goes sideways. All right, so not too much going on over here on the clean chart. Back to our markups, not much going here either. Patrick said there's a 10-minute zone around 31,390. Good to know, Patrick. So I'll probably do that. I'll just go over here on the 10. And this is just useful because it goes hand in hand with the K2 SR, or was it the K2 snipe strategy, right? Which is a favorite by everyone. The SR strategy is basically a snipe strategy. It's basically the same thing. It's just less requirements. It's on the shorter time frame, so it's easier to identify with less requirements. I guess we could go back and forth with this here just to see where, you know, structure is sitting. Thanks, Pat, for that heads up. I know this is one of the strategies you like to apply as well. This used to be my favorite strategy because you could apply this pretty much all day. It's just it takes a longer time for it to identify and hit. So yeah, if price does push up higher, looks like you know, next area of structure would be around here. But it looks like price may consolidate a bit right here. You know, typically when you're looking for these snipe entries, they usually line up somewhere around here, because the thing is the pivots are so far away right here that the pivots need to catch up, right? So in order for it to catch up, price needs to either retrace a little bit or just go sideways. That's the only way that the pivots will catch up. Pivots are starting to shift right here. So I think a retracement is due, or some consolidation before it reaches that point, to set up for some sort of entry. Because that's kind of what happened right here. Like you can see that there was an actual snipe that came up right here and went straight to full TP. So we'll go back and forth between charts, only because the 1 minute is so far. There's just nothing to look at here. If there was something to look at, then we would, obviously just stay on the 1 minute. We'll just bounce around between these two time frames, 1 minute and 10 minute, just to see where price is likely to go. So we have a better idea. So there goes the retracement that I was just talking about. Price is starting to trace here on the 1 minute. Target price point for this retracement is going to be structure. And if it breaks through the structure, the actual target is going to be the sessions right here. We do have news coming up in about 9 minutes, so we'll see how this goes. Here's a 3 minute. See if John's strategy here is playing out. Actually, John's strategy here did play out, and it already hit full TP. It was on open. So his 3 minute daily was pushing in the direction of the trend. So if you guys took the 3 minute daily, full TP right there. The 5 minute, I don't really look at this one too much, but if this does come below, looks like it could do the opposite. So we'll see where it goes from there. Here we are back on the 1 minute. Price has reached the first target area, which is the structure. So one of two things will happen. Price will either bounce off here and swing right back up for correction, and then it'll go back into consolidation between this high and this low, or price will break below and attempt to reach this next area of structure right here, which should be the sessions. Yeah, Pat said pivot one is slowly making his way there. Yeah, exactly. Back on the 10 minute over here. Pivot one, the green. Is slowly getting to that point. So you guys can see here, if you guys draw the structure, it's a little easier to see here on the 10, because you can see how price really respects these price structures, right? Price right here is testing it. Looks like it's trying to break below it, but we'll see where it goes from there. Price did break below here on the 1. So let's see if it comes down and tests the next area of structure right here, which would be the Asia high. Or you can fake out. You can also fake out and go the other way. But this is going to be the test structure. It might even bounce off the pivots right here. So we'll see where that goes. Let's take a look at sentiment. Sentiment is currently 57% long. So it's starting to go back to neutral phase. It's not necessarily as heavy as it was yesterday. Yesterday it was at like 60%, so it was easy to look for some sells. But right now it's at 57. So it's not as high as it was the other day. Going over here to the fundamentals, are currently back down to 72 points. Looking over here at the heat map is pretty much, I mean, it's pretty spread. It's some green, some red. I mean, it's more green, obviously, because it's currently up 72 points, but it's pretty spread out. But if it starts to shift back below, if this starts to shift into the red side, it's going to go in the direction of our long-term bias, which is a sell. So here we go. Price bounced right off the pivots, faked out a little bit. So I think right now they're starting to churn some traders. I think it's going to consolidate around here a little bit before it breaks out. So it's identifying where it's going to be going from here. Let me see if I could draw this low right here. So I think it's going to consolidate a bit right here. News is coming up in 5 minutes. It looks like a lot of people are pulling out of the market and just waiting for the Fed to speak. Fed's going to speak right now in about 5 minutes. So I think it'll probably consolidate for a bit, churn in some traders, identify where the retail traders are sitting. If there's more on the buy side, they'll drop it. If there's more on the sell side, they'll push it up. Right. I don't think it's televised either. Let me check real quick. YouTube. Let's see. FOMC. So I don't see anything on YouTube for FOMC today. It's probably not televised. They'll probably be sending out their minutes tomorrow. Let me check that over here. They got meeting minutes here. Actually, Powell speaks tomorrow. So tomorrow's a big Fed day. Is this Fed week? No, I don't think this is Fed week. I think Fed week is next. Actually, this might be Fed week because it is a holiday. So we have Fed member Messer speaking today. We have Fed member Brainerd speaking later today. Tomorrow we have Fed member Powell speaking. And then on Friday, we have Fed member George and Fed member Waller. So this is Fed week, I guess. Usually it's like the middle of the month, but I guess this month, because it's a holiday, it came early. So I don't think they're going to be televising it, but they will be releasing the minutes. All right, so let's see what happens here. It looks like price is still ranging around this area, so it's not really doing much. It's kind of just churning some more retail traders in. So price pushed up. I mean, realistically, if you look at this from a bigger picture, it's actually in a big consolidation right here. So let me just leave that alone. That's the smaller consolidation area. And here's the bigger consolidation area. So it's basically a range within a range, right? This is the big range, and this is a small range within it. So just keep that in mind when looking, so that you're not just focused on one area, because realistically, it's still within this big range. It's the same range that I drew earlier. It just never came and broke below it. So here we go as price pushes back up above. No entries for us to take at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said target price for the downside sessions, open price, and 5:30 news price. Exactly. You can see the volatility kind of died down. News is coming up right here at 7 o'clock with Fed member Messer speaking. Going back to the 10 over here, you can see our price just perfectly rejected off the session, not the sessions, the structure right there. So we gotta wait quite a bit. Yeah, Marco said news time frame discipline 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after. Yeah, exactly. So you just want to make sure that you don't get caught in price manipulation, because so the reason why you get price manipulation on Fed talks is because you'll see a lot of people gambling, right? People are going to be gambling, thinking whether or predicting whether price is going to go up or price is going to go down from whatever the Fed is going to say. Honestly, I can't really predict what the Fed's going to say now. It was easier before because we knew that we were going to a recession. Right now, it looks like there's like a ton of manipulation in the market. Like it's obvious that we're in a recession, but it looks like the GDP numbers have been like kind of played with, right? Because it was negative for the past, I think, 2 quarters, and then for this quarter, it was like break even or like slightly in the positive. So I mean, it doesn't necessarily say we're out of a recession, but they might use that and twist the words to say that because we are in the positive or break even, that we're no longer in. Yeah, perfect, Peter. Thanks for that. So Peter actually just sent the link. He said market bracing for another 3-point hike from the Fed this month. I mean, they're going to be hiking up interest rates like crazy, like on everything. So, you know, if they're hiking up interest rates like that, then obviously we're going into a recession because they got to make money somehow, right? They're doing stuff to make money here. They're like quietly, we're like quietly in a recession. They're trying to not make it obvious, but again, it is obvious, and you can see price here dropping. Why is price dropping? Because the Fed is increasing interest rates. It's giving us a bigger hint that we're going into a recession. Exactly. DeJohn said they're trying to hide it. You know, that's like everything's going to go up in price. Like inflation is going up, interest rates going up. It's just everything's going to cost a lot more. You know, buying homes is going to cost a lot more. That's why nobody's buying homes right now. Buying cars is going to cost a lot more than it already is with interest rates. If you're going to be financing, you know, everything's going up. So you can see your price is dropping because the Fed is starting to speak. And with the Fed starting to speak, people are predicting that they're going to be releasing bad news, which is not a surprise, right? So this is 7 a.m. US news, Fed talk. So there's no neutral or positive news event for this. It's just he's going to start speaking right now. He's probably going to speak for about an hour. We'll see how this affects the market. You just got to be a bit careful with your entries, guys, because you don't want to get caught in price manipulation here. So there's technically an entry that can be coming up right here, but it's right next to the news price. So even if you were to take a buy at this point, it'll be right next to news price, and it's just not going to be useful. Seth said, too bad we don't have a method to make money to be a cash buyer. LOL. Exactly, right? Rick said price of cocaine is getting out of hand. Seth said time to be a cash buyer out of hand too. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, DeJohn said, but the entire world is in a recession, so I don't get the reason. Yeah, no, exactly. It's just like, you know, they're just toying with the market. Like right here again, fake out. I don't know if another news event was released. Let me go over here to CNBC, refresh this. All the indices are bullish right now, though. So you can see right here, the Dow's up 70 points, S&P's up 11 points, NASDAQ's up 57 points, Russell 2K is up. The VIX is the only, you know, big asset that's currently down right now. But other than that, there is a possible entry right here. I don't know if this touched the, it did touch news price though, so it might be a bit of a risky entry. There's also no target price. And the candle's too big. So unfortunately, no entry right here, guys. I was looking for an SR rejection scalp right here, but unfortunately, no entry there. The candle's just too big. And it looks like it's gonna hit TP. But the candle there was just a little too big. No, we're still waiting, Madhu. I was just looking at this right here, but I was just marking up because I know some people are still taking trades. So I'm still marking up entries. Well, I'm following entries. I'm not necessarily taking them, but I'm following up on entries right here to show you guys, you know, so that we can analyze them and see how they're a good trade or how they're a bad trade, because there's going to be entries that come up so often. Reasons why we wouldn't take this trade are one, because the candle is too big, and two, because it's 5 minutes before and after news. News happened right here at 7 o'clock. We got to wait until the 5-minute mark is passed before we can take anything. So until this candle, right, this time period is passed. But either way, there's like a lot of red flags why you wouldn't take this trade. For one, it looks like it may be touching news price. For two, it's within the news parameters. And for three, this candle here is too big. So, and there you go. It would have hit TP, but it would have been a risky trade. So trade still hit. It's just, you know, you want to be on the safer side, not to take these trades here. But yeah, thanks for the heads up, Madhu and Marco, that mentioned about the 5-minute rule. So we're still not looking for any entries at this point. It's going to be a bit of a tough entry if price does come back and retest the zone right here, because it's so close to news price. What I'd probably be waiting for is I would be looking for I'd probably be looking for price to create new zones around this area. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said I would have been sweating in that because it touched news price. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell if it touched it or not. I think it did touch it though. It looks like it. you guys want to be very careful whenever you take trades when price touches news or sessions or any of these horizontal lines, because you're really taking a huge gamble at that point because it causes a huge manipulation in price. All right, so here's a 5-minute candle right here. I'm just going to delete this. Let's see, Eunice is asking, you think the high-low strategy is safe to trade in these market conditions? It depends. Eunice, like for today, I think it would not necessarily be, or I mean, I don't know. It just really depends. If the market's moving directional, then it's good for the high-low. You can see here that earlier this morning, there was entries that could have been taken, right? Like this one right here. This would have been a good high-low because price was moving directional. Right now, price is no longer moving directional. It's moving back and forth, like it's in a huge range right here, or it's just going back and forth. So I wouldn't necessarily consider it a good time to take the trade. If price breaks above this point right here, Eunice, then yes, I think this would be an okay entry. If price breaks above this one right here, not so much. Like break between this one, either this one, within this area here, I don't think it's a good entry. If it's above this price point right here, this high, or this high-low right here, then I think it would be okay because at that point, price is going to be moving directional, right? Price pushes up, comes back down, breaks through, directional push. Same with price coming below here. Price comes below here or comes below this point, retrace, continuation. That's where I would use a high-low. But anywhere within this vicinity in the middle, I would not be using any high lows because you can see right here, this would have been a high low entry. It would have lost. This would have been a high low entry. It would have lost, right? Because price isn't necessarily moving directional. It's moving back and forth sideways. So just make sure to keep that in mind. Basically, the only strategy that you should really be applying when market is ranging should be the K2SR rejection. If you're trading in a directional market, then you can apply any strategy because it's almost guaranteed it's going to hit, right? Because price just keeps pushing in that direction. You wait for a pullback, continues, and so on. So hopefully that makes sense, Eunice. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you're following along as to how the market conditions are currently providing entries. Yeah, no problem, Eunice. All right, back to the, I don't remember what I drew here. Oh, this was NFP. Yeah, guys, so you guys can see here how NFP played out last week. We drew this area here. I mentioned that, typically you want to see where price is going, then NFP usually does the opposite. Price is pushing up right here, and then it did the opposite and dumped. So I guess we'll play around with NFP again next week. See where that takes us. There's a possible snipe right here. Not one that I'm going to take, but I'll follow it. So the 1 minute over here. This would have been an okay entry, but we have a sell signal on it, so we can't take that entry there, unfortunately. If there was no sell signal there, then we could have taken this for a buy. The requirements require that we trade in the direction of momentum. Since there's a sell momentum there, no entry. What I'd be looking for here on the 5 minute is if we get a sell signal here as well, possibly take the opposite for a buy. This 10 minute here, if it doesn't close proper, then we'll see. This would be a good confluence though, if it does close. Looks like it might close as like a big doji candle, so possibly no entry there. All right, so price came back to the target price right here, news price. Let's see what happens from here. Once price reaches any of these horizontal lines, one of two things happens. Price either swings back up from where it's at or breaks below and reaches the next area of target. So 10 minute right here. Looks like this might close as a snipe. Again, I'm not going to be taking this trade, but I'll be using this as a confluence to identify future buys. Same with this right here. In order for us to take a buy here, we need to get a buy signal to come up, which we do not have yet. This zone over here just expanded a bit. Now we can just use this zone over here because this zone's going to disappear anyways. All right. So price came down, touched this area. If you look closely, price is just squeezing. So we have the zone within a zone right here, and price realistically is just squeezing. It's getting tighter and tighter before it prepares for that breakout that is likely to happen. Yeah, it's just squeezing. As you guys can see, price has been getting tighter and tighter from these two areas over here. And then as it continues to move sideways, it's just going to break out one way or the other. Seems like a lot of retail traders are waiting for something to be announced from the Fed meeting. And once something is announced, you know, people are going to hop onto that move. So, nothing's been announced yet. If you guys see any news events announced, you know, just pop into the chat and we'll take a look at it. But right here, another fake out. As price starts to swing right back into this area here. So here's the fake out that I just warned you guys of, right? I mentioned don't take any trades right here because let me refresh this chart real quick. Okay, so I mentioned don't take any trades when price gets near the near any of these horizontal lines, right? Because price bounced off it, it pushed up a little bit, faked out from here, and then it came back down. Next target price point is going to be the sessions right here, or it can fake out. You know, we really don't know where price is going because you can see the trend meter down here is now blue. So it's either going to be shifting for a reversal or it's just going to be playing around this area right here where it's just going to consolidate even further. So this is why you got to be patient and wait for some sort of confirmation because there really is no direction at the moment. Jason said, Sean, please help. What's wrong with the FTMO website? I'm about to have a heart attack. I don't know what's wrong with the website. Let me see. Website looks fine to me. What's wrong with it, Jason? I'm on the website right now. It looks fine. It might be your internet, Jason. It's working right here for me. It's weird. Yeah, it might be your internet connection or it might be blocking your area. I'm not sure where you're located. Yeah, I just logged in. Mine looks fine. Yeah, I'm logged into mine right here. Yeah, D said hers looks fine as well. It might just be your internet connection. Yeah, it works for everybody else. It might just be you, Jason. Yeah, Patricia said try using a different browser. All right, so price is pushing down right here. Next target price point is going to be the sessions right here. Yeah, you just might have to clear your cookies, Jason. Might be something wrong with your history. But it looks fine for everybody. So you kind of scared me there for a second too. I was like, man, did they get attacked or something? All right, so here we go as price starts to move around a bit. Target price points right here. Either way, we won't be able to get any entries regardless as to, you know, where price is going. Let me just clean this up a little bit because it's super messy. I'm just going to go and mark up the high lows. It's going to help you see the structure a bit better. All right. So as you guys can see right here, it's a little easier to see. This is basically this is the big zone. And here is the zone within the zone, right? So we'll see where price goes from here. Price came down, tested the sessions right here. Here goes the next target price point. As price continues to move along, one of two things will happen. Price will either bounce off here, come back up and test this session right here, or it can drop below further and test opening price. Main target price is going to be right here, opening price, this blue line. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, I would want to take some speculative moves here, but the problem with this is that price is just, it's too close. Spread is 190. This is only 500 pips away. So I'm not really going to be able to catch much if I use a trailing stop. So it's not really worth the risk on my end. If it was like 1,000 pip move, then great, because I can break even plus make some profit off it. But they're just too close. So price from the next target price point is only 400 pips. That's not far enough for me to really make any money, right? Because, I mean, yeah, I could probably make some profit, but it's not necessarily worth it because it'll probably push up. Like, for example, here, it pushed up about 100 pips. And then if it pulled back again right here, I'd be kicked out at break even. Here's the target price point right there. Price pushed up a little bit. Yeah, Patricia said, looks like FTMO normal spread is 190 now. Yeah, it seems like it because volatility is starting to pick back up. So the spread is getting a bit wider. There we go. Price hit the target price right there. So if you guys are looking for like where price is bouncing from, just look at the horizontal lines. If price reaches a horizontal line in the middle, then target price is going to be the next horizontal line, right? You can see right there, price rejected off it perfectly. See that wick? It like literally touched it. Now that price is up here, where's the next target price? It's back down here, right? It's just bumpers. Like it just keeps going from, you know, area to area. So one of two things will happen. Price will either come over here, come back and bounce, or it'll shoot above here and continue back up higher. So here we go with the buy signal right here. This is fine. We want this buy signal here to close. If price retraces a little bit and rejects off the structure, that's perfect because then we can take a buy here for a SR rejection. It's got to be patient with it. And it's not going to close above it. So rejection directly off the news price right there. So hopefully this is starting to make a lot more sense to you guys why I draw these horizontal lines. I don't know anybody else that draws news price like I do, right? Typically people will see where news happens, but they don't necessarily draw a price line there. You guys can see how important this price line is. A lot of people don't realize it, that price rejects directly off that news price. Right. And this is all from like experience because I've been trading US30 for so long. I can see that price typically comes back to those points at some point, not necessarily like right away, but eventually it'll come back and retest those points like it just did right here. All right. All right, so possible entry right here, if this closes as a moderate green candle. So the trend meter has to close green, and this has to close as a moderate green candle in order for it to be a valid entry for a SR rejection scalp, right? So just keep an eye out on the trend meter below here, make sure it closes green, and make sure that this candle here also closes as a moderate green candle. If it comes down and touches the news price, no entry. And it's touched it, so no entry off that, unfortunately. Just gotta wait for the next one. So you don't want to be anywhere near manipulated price movement. Prices touched the sessions directly. I mean, not sessions, the news price. It literally came down, tapped it, and then there we go. It starts to bounce around. Yeah, so no entry off that. Let's watch this next one. It's unfortunate because it looked like it could have been a good entry too. Yep, looks like it would have hit full TP. Or almost. Yep, full TP. Damn it. It had to come down and just touch the the news price. If it didn't come down and touch the news price, we could have taken it. Actually, the wick on top is kind of big, so we probably wouldn't have taken it either way. But if it did close as we were anticipating, could have been a solid entry. Maybe another one right here. Nope, it touched it again. Yeah, unfortunately, no entry off this one either. So it looks like the market's kind of playing around right now. It's just bouncing around where the Fed started speaking. Again, right there, this would have been a good entry as well. So two of them would have been back-to-back wins, but unfortunately, it didn't play out as planned. Came down and touched the news price right here. See a couple of profits here posted by K2 members. So Al over here posted his profits, locking a total profit of 1,737. Nice work, Al. Scotty over here as well. Scotty's currently up 1,275 for the day. Looks like he had one loss earlier this morning, and then he made it right back right after. So nice work right there, Scotty. Al again right here. Al made another one. Total profit of 3,161 for the day. Nice work, Al. All wins, no losses. And then Scotty over here again as well. 1,825 for the day. Nice. And you guys are going back and forth right here. It looks like Al and Scotty, they just kept taking one trade after the other. Another one right here with Al again, blocking a total profit of 3,543. Nice work, Al. Looks like you're trailing your stop loss and just riding these trades up. Seth over here currently up 10,686. Nice work, Seth. Yeah, you guys are doing pretty good so far. Some more profits right here from Patricia. Patricia's currently up 3,840 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. Solid consistency there. All wins, no losses. Maddie over here as well, currently up 34,226. This is Maddie's testing account, so this isn't his actual account, guys. Just keep that in mind. He's just testing his continuation entries and whatnot. So not bad, Maddie. 34,000 for the day. Valentine over here as well, currently up 9,004. Solid profits for the day, Valentine. And I think that's it for right now. Seth over here currently up, or no, we already looked at that one. And Patricia here on her other account, she's up 2,015 for the day. Great work, Patricia. Nice work all around, guys. So we had some pretty great profits so far for the week. We started off at a late start this week due to the holiday. This might be a SR rejection entry. I'm following it. If it closes as a moderate green candle, possible entry. If not, then no entry off this here. So we got to wait and see how this candle here closes. Got to make sure it actually closes. No entry. So this is why you guys got to be disciplined and wait for the actual candle to close. Because if you entered a few seconds early, you would have been caught in this trade here now, right? So just be smart about it, guys. Don't hop into trades too quickly. Actually wait for the confirmation before you hop into anything, because this market is unforgiving. Just keep that in mind. All right, so nothing right here right now. Let's see if there's anything else I got going on. Maria said regarding FTMO high spreads, that 500K challenge raffle, I don't know. I get the impression they're messing with their cash flow. Possibly, yeah. I mean, they're probably just promoting the new account, Maria. That's how I see it. Because they're now releasing I'm pretty sure that 500K count is going to be purchasable. So what they're doing is you're trying to get people back on FTMO because there's a lot of different funding companies out there. So it's basically it's a marketing scheme, right? They're having people buy into the lower accounts so that they're not Patricia. But so what are they doing? They're just they're not going to sell it. So it's just going to be one account. Yeah, I think eventually though they're going to have to because all of the other funding companies, there's a lot of other funding companies that have a 500K account, right? I'm not sure which ones, but I've heard of a couple. Yeah, Patricia said they need to ASAP. I agree. So no entry off this, guys. It came down and touched the news price again, unfortunately. But yeah, no, just like what I was just saying with FTMO, they're eventually going to have a 500K account. They have to scale up the accounts because they need to compete with all these other funding companies. So I mean we'll have to see. Yeah, they're still at 400K max. I think once they actually release the accounts, like the 500K account, then they're just going to increase it. I think, well, if they end up doing that, then their max allocation will probably be 900K. That's what I'm seeing. So we'll see. I mean, eventually they're gonna have to catch up. That's what they did before when they I forgot what they did, but they did something to compete with like MFF or like these other companies at some point. So there's no entry off this candle right here, guys. Unfortunately, it came down and touched the sessions. If it didn't, it would have been an okay entry. So there's a lot of, like, if you guys look at all the entries right here, there was a lot of entries that could have been taken, but unfortunately we had to skip them because it kept touching the news price right here. You know, I feel like right here, they're trying to lure in some more sellers. So every time price comes down, sellers think price is going to reverse, but it doesn't, just keep swinging back up. But there was a couple entries here. So like there was like one, I think two, this one was at green for some point, this one right here again as well. There was about like 3 or 4 entries that could have been taken right here that would have all hit full TP, but they keep coming down and touching the sessions, which is a red flag for us. So unfortunately we couldn't take any of those trades, but it looks like they all would have hit pretty nicely. Maddie said 722 continuation. Yeah, right here too, Maddie. That one. Yeah, no, would have been good. Would draw down a little bit, but eventually shot right back up. So unfortunately, no entries right now at the moment, guys. You got to keep following it and check the 10-minute over here. So 10-minute is still, I mean, it's still ranging around this. It's like a huge range right here, this big area. See, price has been ranging about 1,360 pips. Looking over here at the 5-minute. I totally missed it. So if you guys remember earlier, I was mentioning the counter trend trade for the daily, right? On the 5-minute. You check this out, Maddie. It played out perfect. So right here, this is the first signal after 6:30. The trend meter was green. Could have taken the buy right there. Yeah, full TP. Yeah, that would have been good. So we were looking at this earlier, guys. If you guys have been following along from the beginning of the session, we looked at the 3-minute. We missed this one. This was also a full TP right here. It happened right on open. And then the 5-minute over here as well. So this is good news because if price starts to continue moving in this direction, then, or if it starts to be volatile like this, then we're exiting summer. Like, you know, the fall conditions are coming back into play because we were applying the strategy a lot during the spring and it was really good. Like we applied the breakout, we applied the daily, we applied variations, all that stuff, and they would all hit, right? You can see here that the daily for the 3-minute, daily for the 5-minute, there's no daily for the 10-minute yet. I don't think it's going to come up, but 5-minute, 3-minute played out. And it looks like some of these entries here as well. So there's a pivot scalp entry right here. Actually, no, the trend meter was not green at that time. But this is just from this morning. This one over here. No, this one wouldn't have played out. So it looks like on the higher time frames, the market's starting to move a lot more directional. For the shorter time frames, it's still pretty choppy. You guys can see right here, it's pretty clear. Let me just go and clean this up right here. The same, it's basically the same range that we drew earlier is still playing out right there. It did hit liquidity right here though. So if you guys are following the liquidity pushes, you guys can see that it started to move directional around that point. Let's see how big this candle is right here. This could possibly be a high-low scalp, but it looks like the candle might be a little too big. Yeah, the candle is a bit too big. Right here. It's a bit overextended too. Yeah, this candle is way too big. So it's breaking past this high-low right here. But the candle here is it's just way too big. It looks like it would have hit full TP too. Yep, full TP off that high-low scalp. So this is looking good for the market. I know we're missing these trades here, but this is looking good because it's giving us it's giving us, you know, an indicator that market is starting to move directional right here. So it's looking solid. High-low scalp right there. Unfortunately, no SR rejection entries right here, but pretty much all these entries have been hitting pretty solidly. High-low scalp right there, 3-minute daily, 5-minute daily. 1 minute here is kind of still, I'm not doing much. Liquidity push right here. There's a lot of entries that could have been taken. High-low scalp, liquidity push. There's a lot of stuff coming up here. Let's see. B said, nice. CSUK actually caught it. Maddie said might be a big wick on top. Caught that push up though as it broke liquidity. 5-minute buy signal printed and it hit. Nice. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of you guys here are still catching these moves, even though you know, they're not official entries. We have the official entry from earlier, so we're still in profit for the day, for the week. But yeah, a lot more entries here are coming. So we'll see how the rest of the week plays out. If the rest of the week continues to be directional like this, then, you know, we can probably start applying other strategies. But for now, we're still going to be a bit cautious because we are still in the summer season. So don't just jump the gun right away, guys, and expect the market to be perfect right off here. Nice. Brock said caught that high low off your call. Great one. Definitely. Great work, Brock. So Brock actually caught this high low scalp right here. B said he was up 270 when the previous SR scalp hit. So I closed my other FTMO, got hit with negative 530. I don't know what's going on with yours, B, because mine played out perfect. Mine actually gave me more profit. So on that trade over there, this was my my main account. I made 1,210, and then my copier made 1,260. So it didn't really make a huge difference, but it did give me a little more. It's weird. It might be your internet connection, B. I'm not sure, but mine have played out pretty okay for the week so far. Brock over here said, good day, Sean, picking up the pace on your analysis, superb trading day so far. So Brock, yeah, doing pretty good. Brock's currently up 1,577 for the day. Nice work, Brock. It's a great catch up right there. And then he took another from that high low. He's currently up 2,058 for the day. Nice, not bad at all, Brock. So great work and nice return to K2. I know you took a break for a while. I'm glad to see that you're back and you're doing pretty well. Let's see. Marco said he caught some sells on the way down as well. Nice work, Marco. All right, so price is kind of out in the open right now. So as price is out in the open right here, target price is going to be the structure and news price. Hopefully some zones will come up around this area so we can start looking for other entries. But if we don't get anything for the moment, I'll just continue to give you guys my analysis for what I see in the market. Analysis is playing out pretty solid so far, though. It's looking good. Yeah, Valentine said high-low is very high probability. Yeah, no, I like the high-low entries. If the candle wasn't so big, I would have taken it. The candle here was just too big for me to take because I typically don't want to take it when it's bigger than the stop loss, because if it does retrace, then I might get hit. But the high-lows do play out pretty nice. So the high-low is right here. It's on that Brock tech that I mentioned. Price broke and closed above it, pushed up from that point about 400 pips almost. So not bad. Not bad at all. Looks like price is now going back into a range right here. So as you guys can see, we're getting like these bursts of volatility, but after the burst of volatility, price just goes back into a range. So that's why it's very important that you guys are like not getting to you guys aren't just hopping into trades right away for like no reason, right? Because sometimes you might just get caught in this, and then this is the worst type of trade to be in, where price is going sideways for some time. Let's see some more profits over here. Let's see. So Marco said, sorry, but I thought I responded to you yesterday. I'll respond to you a little later today, Marco, when I see this again. Totally forgot. I read your message though. Said hit profit target on the 200K count that he bought yesterday already. So Marco just bought a 200K count yesterday, and then he hit his profit target. So now he's got to wait 10 days. So now Marco, now that you hit your profit target every day, just open a 0.01 trade on US30. If you do that, you know, you'll make or lose a couple pennies or whatever, but it'll count your trading day. So now that you've passed your, yeah, so you've got like 3 accounts now, I think, right? You got 2 that are funded, you got 1 accelerated, you got another one that's on the way. Man, you're killing it. Killing it, Marco. And good thing you saw my license plate, right? At the gym. Yeah, no. I'm glad you hopped on, because I know we talked about this for a while and you didn't hop on right away. Now that you're back on here, killing it. I know it's fate. All right, so here you go with price now going sideways, guys. It's in consolidation right here. I wouldn't recommend taking any trades. Just wait for price to kind of push around for a bit. Looks like the range is getting a bit tighter, so I'll go and mark up another high low right here. So we got a range within a range right here. You got the big range, and then you got the small range. Thanks, Maria. Yeah, Maria said I got to update my SR zones. Thank you for that update there. Let's see. Thank you. So I'm just going to take this off right here. Actually, it's still there. So that one's still there. They're just new ones up top. So perfect. All right, got this right there. Got that right there. Thank you, Maria. And let's keep going. So, all right, so I'm glad that we got a zone up here now, because now that we have a zone up here, we can let price come down and reject off this point. And we can continue riding it up higher. However, one thing that you want to keep in mind is that price is now consolidating sideways. So if you guys can see right here, this is the area of consolidation. You want to be careful because, or actually, no, this will be useful for us. So here is a pattern that will probably play out. You can see how price is going sideways right here. This is what I think will happen. Price will break out of the consolidation phase. It'll reject off the zone right here, and it'll fake out. So what happens right here is price may come down. It'll break below here, reject off the zone, and then people will chase this sell here, right? But in reality, instead of it dropping, it's actually going to swing right back up. Or there's another thing that can happen. So price can break out of this consolidation zone. It'll come down here, break below here as well, reject off this one, and then bounce right back up. So there's 2 areas of fake out right here. So just keep that in mind. See how price broke below this consolidation area right here. Now price probably can consolidate a little further. but there's going to be two areas of fake outs, this area and this area right here. If price does continue to push up higher, you can see how choppy the market is right here, right? Price kind of was in a huge range for like a good hour, and then it pushed up a little bit. Now it's in a range over here. This is not a directional market. So this is why you want to be very careful about the other entries that you guys decide to take, because it's not necessarily a good place to be trading when you're going to be in a sideways movement. So let's take a look at the overall bias again. It's been a while since we looked. So going back over here to retail sentiment, it is currently 56% long. So with it being at 56% long, this is pretty neutral. I mean, it's still, there's more retail traders on the long side, but it's pretty neutral overall. So with this said, we still want to look for sells, but it's not going to be very strong. So this can easily just shift to buys at any moment. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're currently up 169 points. So with that said, these two conflict, right? So this over here is indicating that we should take sells. This is indicating that we should take buys. So with that said, it's neutral. We don't have a long-term bias right now. It's just neutral. Short-term bias right here is still bullish. And reason for that is because the trend meter down here is green and the pivots here are angling up with green over red. So we just got to wait for this to confirm as price continues to move along. It looks like it's going to keep trying to fake people out for the sell here. So if I go back to this last low right here, you can see how price just rejects directly off, right? Price comes down, bounces, comes down, bounces, comes down again, bounces right here. What I'm waiting for is for price to come and touch the zone right there, right? Once it comes down and touch that zone, then we can cash the rejection off it for 100 pips. Because what happens is it's going to come down here, fake out, come back up, hit our TP right away. It's just a matter of time, but it's going to take a lot of patience and discipline. All right, so it's 7:42 right now. Hopefully we get something before 8. But again, I'm not going to be forcing anything. It's only Wednesday today, guys, so we still have a whole week ahead of us. Powell is going to be speaking tomorrow, so that's something to keep in mind. Here's a calendar real quick. There's another news event coming on later today, so I probably wouldn't hang on for too long. Wednesday, September 7th, we have news again at 9:35, which is going to be Fed member Brainerd speaking. Tomorrow we have Powell speaking. So, I mean, we're going to have some pretty high volatility pre-market. We have unemployment claims at 5:30 a.m. and at 6:10 we have Fed Chair Powell speaking. 7:30 we have natural gas storage, and 8 o'clock we have crude oil inventories. And then Friday we have unemployment change, unemployment rate. Actually, this is Canada. Friday we have final wholesale inventories, and then we have Fed member George and Fed member Waller speaking. So this is Fed week. Surprised it came earlier this week, but I guess it's due to the holiday. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here for us to take. Wait for it to come around. Let's see. So Jeff said, hey, Sean, recently just started trading with K2. Today's profit from trying your K2 SR rejection on my FTMO demo. Still have minor rookie mistakes like entering a trade a few seconds late and FOMO. Hopefully able to pass FTMO challenge soon. Cheers. Yeah, no, definitely, Jeff. So Jeff here has just been practicing on his demo account. He's locked in all wins. This is the key thing here, guys. If you guys can have consistency to have all wins like this, Jeff took it with a small lot size, right? With one lot. So one lot, he made $100 each. If he's using a 10 lot like what I'm doing, he would have made 1,000 each, right? So he made 428 right here. Total, he would have been at 4,280. So nice work, Jeff. Definitely great work. Keep up the consistency. Real thing. Yeah, so that's key, guys. If you guys can keep up the consistency like what Jeff did here, you know, he's doing a demo account, but it doesn't make a difference. Like, I know people like hate on people who are doing demo, but realistically, if you guys can do this every single day like I'm doing, like I'm consistently hitting profits, right? If you can do that every day, not lose, your profits are just gonna add up over time. So it doesn't matter if you guys are on a demo, trial, I mean, whatever you guys are using. If you guys can still be consistent and then you guys do the real thing and can still be consistent on there as well, then you've pretty much unlocked your potential. So don't focus on the profits, focus on winning. That's all I can tell you guys. Too many people focus on the profits and they end up getting greedy. They fall into trades, they take bad trades, etc. But if you focus on winning, you're not going to take any bad trades, right? Because you don't want to lose. So, all right, guys, rejection off here. We're looking for a moderate green candle. If we get a sell signal on here, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take any trades here for any buys. We got to wait for another buy signal to come up. We'll see how this plays out here. So price is going to continue bouncing around this area. And then we will see where it goes from here. All right. So here he goes, price drops below. This is fine if price drops below here, guys. So now that price has dropped below here, I'm going to take off that range right there. There's another zone that's popped up right over here. What I'm going to be looking for is for price. I actually want this to retrace down a little bit. So as you can see how price is retracing down a little further. Or I mean, it looks like it kind of just got stuck here. But if it does retrace down further, I would be looking for it to come down to this point right here. This here is not rejecting off the zone, so there's not going to be an entry off it. But you guys can see how there's a sell signal there, right? We don't want a sell signal to close there. If the sell signal closes, it's fine. We'll just wait for price to drop below this point. But if it doesn't, I mean, we can still look for an entry off here. Looks like price might be faking out and attempting to swing right back up. So this candle here is going to close. Let's see if we get a wick rejection off this next candle. So price can pull down a little bit, reject off this structure, and then continue up higher. Just want to make sure the zone's still there. Yeah, looks good. All right, so this is fine right here. I mean, either way, if price closes below here, we'll wait for the rejection down here. Or if it doesn't and we get a moderate green candle here, this can still be an entry for a buy. So we'll see. We still got about 25 seconds left on this candle. It's a lot of time. All right, so if it closes as a moderate green candle, you can take it for a buy. And then you can see where it goes from there. I don't know, 10 seconds. You got to make sure and actually wait for the candle to close, guys, okay? Don't hop in right away. Even if you got to hop in late, actually wait for it to close. So wait for it, and there's no entry off that. So if you guys waited and are not entering for no reason, so no entry off that there. You guys can see how the market's playing with people right now, right? It's like just going sideways right here, and it's luring people into both ways, whether it be a buy or a sell. So yeah, like what DeJohn said as well, he said it kind of wants to test the pivots. I agree. I can see that. As it's coming down right here, it looks like it may test the pivots and then bounce off it. Yeah, same here, Patricia. Patricia also mentioned, I don't like this entry. Pivots 1 and 2 are starting to cross. Gotcha. Yeah. So typically when you see that happen, if you do have pivots 1 and 2 on, it's usually a sign that price is looking to possibly reverse. All right. So it tested the pivots right there. This is pivot 3, I believe. Let's take this off right here to clean it up. So this is fine. Now that we have the sell signal, that's completely fine. I don't mind it too much. We'll see if price comes down to this area right here. One thing that you want to keep in mind is that if price continues to drop lower, the trend meter here may change to blue. If it changes to blue, there's not going to be any entries for you guys to take. Next thing they'll be looking at is going to be next price point, which is going to be news price right here. So this is the next price target for price to reach if it continues to drop. If it doesn't continue to drop, then price can easily come down to this point right here. and bounce off this point, right? So we'll see where it goes. Or again, price might just swing up from where it's currently at. So in order for us to take a buy here, we need that buy signal. But it's doing pretty much what I just mentioned earlier. Price is kind of just screwing around this area. It's luring people to chase the sell. So it basically lured people to chase the sell right here. Now they're getting faked out and price is swinging right back up. It's typical market games, you know, especially during a time like this. This is why, like, when it gets close to 8, I usually start, well, 8 o'clock's like the cutoff, because if you ever like watched our live sessions, as we get closer to 8 o'clock, this is where the market starts to screw around a lot. It starts to trap a lot of people into certain positions, and then the breakouts start to happen after that. So again, right here, we have a buy signal, completely fine. We need this to retrace down, reject off the structure, and then we can possibly take it for a buy. Or if price pushes up higher, that's fine. Price can push up to here, retrace, and continuation. All right. So we don't have that buy signal, unfortunately. I was hoping this one right here would close with the buy signal so that this next candle could provide us an entry, but we don't have that buy signal. So we may have an entry off here. We just need a buy signal to close, and we need it to be a moderate green candle that's not too large. Right, so it can be bigger than this right here. If the candle is bigger than this, definitely no entry. So we're looking at a lot of things here. We're looking for the buy signal to close. We're looking for a moderate green candle, and we want to make sure the candle here is not too large. The candle here is way too large, so we can't take this trade here, even if it does close. The candle is bigger than the stop loss. So no entry off this. And I'm not going to FOMO in. I was getting FOMO vibes, right? I was going to hop in late, but no, I'm not going to hop in late to this one. Just going to wait. Looks like it's going to hit too. Oh, bitch. I should have just followed it to it. It's okay. Man, all the trades here that have been too big, they've been hitting. That's why I was gonna literally FOMO into this trade right here. But it's all good. It is what it is. It's getting close to 8 anyways. Yeah, it's not worth the risk. You know, because we've seen it before where like towards 8 o'clock, we'll see a candle that's too big, and then it'll retrace like a little bit. It'll come back up to fill our order, and then it comes straight down to stop loss. Right? You guys have seen that. That happened to us like the past couple of weeks. It's so annoying. Like every other trade hits, and then the one trade that we do decide to take, it ends up, you know, going reverse. So it's okay. Just got to stay disciplined. You know, I'm teaching you guys as a discipline. I got to follow myself as well. Can't do the opposite of what I'm teaching you guys. So unfortunately, no entry there. Price is just in a range now. So if you go over here on the other time frame, it's still in the same range that we were looking at earlier. So it's literally in the same area that it was before. It's just bounced around a little more. So it's been in this range for about 30 minutes almost. Yeah, when it reaches this point, it's going to be 30 minutes. It's all good. All right, so this is what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for price to push above it, retrace, provide us with a wick rejection off the structure, and then a continuation from there. It's basically what I'm looking for. It's 7:55 right now. So as it gets closer to 8, try to wrap it up. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I think we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon. Yeah, Maddie said, not worth the risk. Fed meeting at 9:35 and 11 today. I'd call it a day after the live, everyone. Yeah, no, same here, Maddie. I'm not going to be looking for any more trades after 8. I mean, the market's not really doing anything anyways. Even if you wanted to, it's just going sideways. Like here's a clean chart, the clean markup. I could even mark up the high lows here. It's not really much going on. Yeah, no, same here, Maddie. Maddie says he's gonna hop off and go to the gym after. Same here. To prevent us from forcing any trades. Nice, Maddie. Yeah, no, definitely, bro. All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. It's 7:55 right now, 5 minutes till 8. Doesn't look like we're gonna get any entries from now until then, so I'll probably be logging off pretty soon. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to post them up, and then I will add them to the list. Emilzon over here just posted his profits. He said was able to recover. Let's see, his first account over here locked in a total of 2,162. Nice work, Emilzon. His second account over here, he's at 1,750. He made some mistakes, but it's okay because he bounced right back from it. And then his third account over here, he locked in 2,948. So great work, Melzon. If there's any more profits that you guys want to post up, feel free. Nice recovery. Losses. All right, cool. Patricia's off too. So definitely I'll see you tomorrow, Patricia. Barack said done for the day. Cheers, y'all. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Sean. Definitely, Barack. I'll see you tomorrow as well. Great work today, guys. So if there's any more profits that you guys want to post up, just send them in, and then I will add them to the profit post for today. Looks like you guys did pretty good for today and yesterday. So it's been a pretty good week, guys. Just keep in mind that, we're going to have slow weeks and we're going to have fast weeks. Last week was kind of slow. Week before that was slow. This week is picking up a lot better than it was previous weeks. So other than that, thanks, Sisu. I will see you guys tomorrow. So have a great rest of your day. And if you guys don't have to trade, I just sit out. Fed's talking for the rest of the day today. So I would just chill out and wait till tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next live session. Till then, we will be back